Hello and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer replay. I have played Tombkings versus High Elves a couple of times, but I had a game before this where I played Tombkings versus High Elves, and it was an alright game, but my opponent took fucking 4 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, and as you can imagine, that really pissed me off, okay? Because I don't like people spamming artillery, and of course I lost that game, and I just thought, well, you know, there wasn't really much micromanaging or skill involved. It was basically just just sniping lords, so I didn't really want to upload that one, but this one was a lot better. So in the front line, I've got a mix of Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guard. Now, Skeleton Warriors are basically going to get absolutely molested and butt-fucked by anything on the High Elf side, but Tomb Guard can actually beat most High Elf infantry. They don't have a lot of armor piercing, but they have decent weapon strength, and of course sword masters are probably the only thing that actually will beat them efficiently, but of course they're very susceptible to cav charges, which is why I've sort of put them all in this sort of like square stance, like where they're basically gonna, because for those of you who are new, if you put your units in a bit more of a blob, of course they're more susceptible to magic, however they're not going to be when they get charged, there's less chance of them basically getting all knocked over. So yeah, I've got, I believe, 3 Tomb Guard and 2 Skeleton Warriors. Then I've got 1 Tomb Scorpion. Of course, this guy is pretty much a must-pick when you're playing against High Elves. You know, armoured, armour-piercing, anti-infantry, causes terror. Very, very good unit. For my Lord, fuck me, I've gone for Archeon the Black. Here we go, this is the time where I try to pronounce the names of all his abilities. But the only thing I gave him was Soul Blight. Soul Blight, of course, does minus 30 armor and minus 25 weapon damage, so, you know, basically I thought that'd be good against High Elves, you know, lowering their armor and stuff like that, because we don't have a lot of armor piercing here other than the Tomb Scorpion for the frontline engagement. He's got the Libera Mortis, which of course is the physical resistance and leadership, which is very, very nice, a bit of an AoE effect. Staff of Nagash, which of course, power reserve, always good to spam out more Soul Blights. And we've got the Tomb Blade of Archeon, which basically summons skeletons. Of course, to keep using it, you've got to be in combat. We've also got a Tomb Prince over here. Tomb Prince is pretty basic. I mean, he's anti-large, he's on a cav. He's also got the Blade of Setep. Don't hurt me. But yeah, that's an alright ability. So he's going to be basically protecting my Lord from anything. Just got the normal Ushabti Greatbow here. These guys, armor piercing. You know, very, very good unit. I mean, these guys are just, I love that, you know, such a cool looking unit. They're, you know, got some little parrot faces. I do love the Egyptians. Got the King Nagesh's Scorpion Legion here. These guys were just to protect the Ushabti Greatbow, of course. I made sure that I learned from the last game that I played against High Elves that you need to protect these guys at all costs. So, you know, I've got some dedicated anti-large unit here. But as for a sort of mind game pick here, I took the Sphinx of Upskak because and the Necro Sphinx because this guy actually has fire resistance, 25%. So actually, he's a really strong pick against High Elves because, of course, High Elves usually bring the Fireborn. So bringing one of these guys with that 25% damage resistance actually is, you know, really decent. But that's pretty much it for my army, you know, very basic. I mean, I don't know what, of course, you know, usually 2... Oh, and my mistake, I've got 2 Carrions. These are just, you know, to get into the background, stuff like that. As for my opponent, though, I do like this guy's build. He's got Spearman in the front line. He's got, you know, Daddy and Son Phoenix squad going on here. You know, the Frostheart Phoenix. This very, very nice unit. You know, does magical damage, nice AP. Of course, it has Blizzard Aura, which minus 9 melee attack and minus 10 armor piercing damage, which is pretty decent as it affects all enemies. But this is also very, very good. The he's got magic resistance and plus 12% damage resistance, which is very, very nice. Also, I do believe this Phoenix has an ability where if it touches a unit, it slows it. It has the frost effect. I'm almost guaranteed that the Frostheart Phoenix has a frost effect, which slows down, like, you know, any unit it comes into contact with. So it's very good at slowing down cav charges. He's also got a Flamespire Phoenix. I actually really like this pick against Tombkings. Not very nichey, but I do like these sort of picks. Now, of course, it's basically like its own little gyrocopter. This thing can actually, let me see if we can get on this bad boy here, this big Phoenix. Can I click on it, please? Can I? Yeah. So the Flamespire Phoenix has rebirth, okay? A really, really, you know, cool thing. It has a 50% chance of not happening, but basically if it happens, the unit basically comes back to life and gets a lot of its health back. So a really sort of nichey sort of thing that happens. Very, very cool to see if it does happen. But he's got Wake of Fire. Usually people who bring Flamespire Phoenix usually never get this off because it's so susceptible to missile fire, and it doesn't have much armor. I mean, what, like 30 armor on a Flamespire Phoenix is barely anything. But if you can use these powerful explosions against Tomb King infantry, it will do a lot of damage. As for my opponent's Lord, this is a very, very smart pick. I do like this pick. Tyrion. He's armoured, armour-piercing, a duelist. You know, very, very good. Actually, I think Tyrion is a duelist. But the thing that he's got with him is he's got the feint and riposte. Oh god, don't hurt me, please. But he's got Sunfang, which is now this is really good. Sunfang is really good against Tombkings. It does fire damage, and it's just an absolute, you know, it's basically like a good fire magic spell that the Tombkings can have. But he also has the Heart of Avalon, monkey, which basically when he's you know, when he's low on health, he'll get a burst of life-saving HP points, which is really good at keeping him alive. But as for my opponent as well, he's also got a Mage of High, just I think Apotheosis to keep Tyrion alive, Soul Quench, which of course is some more magical damage, and Tempest, which of course is good for those Karens. He's also got the Everqueen's Court Guard, more Winds of Magic, of course, with that Banner of Avalon. Very, very nice, very, very high tier archer unit. And he's got the Fireborn, but of course, I prepared for this. So, let's get right into this replay. So, first thing I do, the Ashabati are just shooting into the Flamespire Phoenix, because of course, those things are quite scary. I mean, they can easily come in and snipe my Lord, pretty scary. The Sisters of Avalon were shooting at my Lord, but I'm okay now. The frontline engagement is happening here, though. Tomb Guard versus Spearman, which is actually alright. Tyrion was getting pretty balls deep here, but I think he was just sort of seeing if he could get a chance to get on my Lord. But, of course, with the Necro Sphinx nearby, you don't want to take that, you know, fight any day. Over here, I do cast a Soul Blight to sort of, you know, reduce the armor of a lot of these units. He does, of course, use a, oh, fuck me, I hate these names. Tempest, yeah, he does use a Tempest on my Carrion, but the Carrions do get on his Everqueen Court Guard, but he does have the Fireborn there to help out. The Tomb Scorpion is going in, but already, Archeon the Black has taken a serious amount of damage. I do cast, or use some of my Skeleton Warriors over here. I do send the Tomb Prince onto the Flamespire Phoenix, but I say, already a shit ton of damage done to Archeon, so very, very, very scary. But over here, we do get a very nice engagement. So the Tomb Scorpion in here fighting against Spearman with Tomb Guard. These, the King of Nagesh Scorpion Legion and the Necro Sphinx are in here fighting against the Flamespire Phoenix and Tyrion. A very good engagement for me. This is what the Necro Sphinx is designed to do. Designed to take out these big scary units. As you can see, we've already done a lot of damage to the Necro Sphinx, not the Necro Sphinx, the Flamespire Phoenix and Tyrion. The Frostheart Phoenix does come in to sort of tear this out, but all this time, my Ashabati Greatbow here have been shooting into the Fireborn, which is actually really nice. They have cleared out the background though, they have got rid of my Carrions. He does cast Apotheosis on the Fireborn, of course, to keep him alive. But over here, the Flamespire Phoenix, you know, is taking a lot of damage from the King Nagash Scorpion Legion. I mean, it doesn't have much armor. I also send my Tomb Prince over here to deal with it. Over here, though, we've got to have a clash of, you know, godly units. We've got the Fireborn here fighting against the Necro Sphinx. Now, this is a very, very interesting fight because, of course, these guys do fire damage and have anti-large, but this guy's fire resistance. So he's going to be tanking a lot of this damage. I mean, he's going to take a lot of damage because the Fireborn have good AP and have a, you know, good bonus versus large. But he's, you know, the Necro Sphinx is no pushover. So he's going to be standing in there and tanking a shit ton of this damage. He's done a good amount of damage to these Dragonborn. My Tomb Guard are winning against Spearmen, relatively good, which is very, very nice. We do finish off the Flamespire Phoenix, which is very, very nice, and it doesn't get rebuff, which is very, very good for me. Tyrion over here, though, is fighting my Tomb Prince, which is, you know, that's an understandable fight. I mean, luckily, though, I mean, we are doing some serious nice damage, but of course, he's got the Heart of Avalon, so, you know, even though Tyrion's taking a lot of damage here, you know, the Heart of Avalon's going to basically give him a burst of health, and of course, his Mage of High can, of course, use Apotheosis to keep him up. Does Cav stand your ground here. The Necro Sphinx, though, has done a good job. It's done a lot of damage to the Fireborn, and it is now going on to the Frostheart Phoenix as well. And this thing can't regen or get his health back, so any permanent damage done here is really, really good for me. He does get a nice charge, though, with his Fireborn on my Lord, which I was really scaring here. For some reason, I was clicking over here, and it wasn't covering. But all this time, the Ashabati have been shooting in on the Fireborn. Balance of power is still very, very even, but my opponent does get a nice catch on my Tomb Prince here. He's got Spearmen in here, the Fireborn. But I do use the Curse of Djaf, which basically rampages everything here and lowers their melee attack. I also use a Soul Blight here, so that's really good. Tyrion taking so much damage, so close to being dead. The Fireborn here as well are taking a shit amount of damage as well, which is really, really good for me. But yeah, well, it's going actually really good. These Tomb Guard over here, and I do summon the Ashabati here as well to get onto these the Everqueen's Court Guard, which is very, very good for me. And the Tomb Guard here are fighting as well. Unfortunately, though, the Necrosphinx does fall here. It served its lord well for the Egyptians, the Tomb Princes, and the Tomb Kings, but does unfortunately fall here, and so does my Tomb Prince. My Tomb Prince does go down as well. So balance of power does go into my opponent's favour here quite a bit. Luckily, though, we have cleared up the Everqueen's Courtyard, which is very, very good for me. I have got my King Nageshi's Scorpion Legion here, which are going to play a really vital role in this late game because, of course, he's still got the Dragon Princes and the Frostheart Phoenix and Tyrion, of course. Tyrion, of course, the Heart of Avalon did basically happen, and he has got his Birth of Life. He does try to snipe my lord here, but luckily it does just chip the side of the mountain here. I'm trying to remember what ability was that. What ability does the... I need to learn these things. So yeah, Soul Quench. So yeah, a bit of like a fireball, but of course it does magic damage instead of fire. But I have backed off the Ashabati over here, and we start shooting into the Frostheart Phoenix. I could have shot a Tyrion, but I felt like this thing was all, is a really big threat. The fact that it can basically kill a lot of my Tomb Guard very quickly and go for the snipes on my lord. My Tomb Guard, though, over here are basically taking out these spearmen. Tyrion has pushed in here. I think I understand that. I'd use another Soul Blight here to sort of lower Tyrion's melee attack, but he does use his, this flaming ability here. It does get a nice damage here. What's this sword? The sword of something, isn't it? Ah! I shouldn't have to do this. Anyway. Bit of a tar pit going on down here. As I say, unfortunately, my King Nageshi's Scorpion do take a real amount of damage from that magic spell. But my Ashabati is still shooting in. He does cast Apotheosis on his Frostheart Phoenix to try and keep it in the fight. Archeon the Black, though, is coming back in. I saw my chance here. I thought, okay, maybe if we can kill Tyrion, we might have a chance here. But my spearmen do go down. And Tyrion now is 1v1ing my lord, which is never a good fight, because that's what Tyrion's designed for. So I do send the Ashabati in with their melee attacks, and I thought, okay, maybe we can tie down Tyrion here and actually get some good damage. The Sisters of Avalon, or the Everqueen's Courtyard, are still shooting in. His Frostheart Phoenix is coming back in as well, which is kind of scary. But Tyrion's taking a lot of damage, and the Dragonborn as well. So, not the Dragonborn, the Fireborn as well. So, it's very, very risky. Unfortunately, though, the Frostheart Phoenix is coming in and looking for a snipe. I do believe I dodge it here. Just dodge the charge from the Frostheart Phoenix. So, this thing's very, very fast. Chasing after me very, very, the nice looking blue crow looking thing here. I do summon some Skeleton Warriors here, and I do use another Soul Blight here to lower its weapon strength, so, or weapon damage. So I do sort of 1v1 it here, thinking that, okay, I might be able to take this thing out because it has lower armor. Over here, though, my Ashabati are unfortunately decaying very, very quickly. They're not, designed, of course, to be in prolonged combat. But my Skeleton Warriors are coming in to attack over here, and we've got a bit of a final stand going on in here. Tyrion and all his other units are fighting Tomb Guard and my summoned skeletons. Archeon has got many arrows stuck in him, still wandering around trying to look for a way to poke in. But, as I say, we've almost got the Frostheart Phoenix. The Fireborn do fully rout off with their last one unit. They have served very, very well during this match. I do have some Tomb Guard over here, though, which unfortunately I should have brought back into here. I didn't notice this in the game. Poorly micromanaged by me here. I mean, sometimes you just forget things, which is really unfortunate, because I could have really, really used them in this last fight. Tyrion here, though, is trying to take out Archeon here. And, of course, he has put Stand Your Ground on. And I've still got the Skeleton Walls in here. But, so, I go for another charge in, trying to take out Tyrion, but Tyrion is just so damn tanky with 125 armor. He's not an easy thing to kill. Still trying to take him out. I do cast another Soul Blight here, but unfortunately Tyrion does use another one of his magical attacks here, his flaming attacks, and it does completely wipe out my Skeleton Warriors here. And unfortunately that kills Archeon. So unfortunately my Tomb Guard over here are just going to crumble down very, very quickly. And yeah, that's GG. Very well played to my opponent. I really like the pick with the Frost Spire Phoenix and the Flame Spire Phoenix. Don't really see that too often. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.